been a long time since I made a video, but I've been watching tech videos and stuff for ages, especially old retro tech, and I've seen quite a few channels that seem to just review just random ass laptops with shenanigans going on usually, like Bring Studios and stuff. But anyways, recently, about a month or two ago, I helped my grandpa and his wife get data backed up off some stuff, and they gave me like 3 old laptops. One of them is pretty damn good. It's a Dell first gen Intel Core 1764. I mean, it's not like the fastest thing ever, but it's pretty nice. It would have been very much top of the line when it came out. So yeah, I use that for modding consoles usually. And the third one being this Acer that has nothing in it. I mean, it has the motherboard and it had a CPU, which was actually better than the one that was in the Dell, so I swapped it over. But it had no RAM, no hard drive. It had a DVD drive. That was the only thing that worked on it. I tried putting RAM and stuff in this thing, but it just doesn't work. So I guess that's probably why it was all apart. So it's basically a parts machine, which is alright, because it's an Acer, so Acer's kind of crap. Which leads us into what you're about to see. But we're not looking at anything that's good today. Like something that could be upgraded and is overall a pretty nice machine, even if it's a bit dated. No, we're looking at something today that's, let's just say, not exactly that great. Even for the time. It's not a netbook, surprisingly, but it may as well be in terms of its specs. So it's this thing, this Acer Aspire 5334. Right here, I can hear something rattling. Yeah, when I got it, really all the machines are kind of nasty, but this one was especially disgusting. It's from my grandpa's stepson, I think. Yeah, I can't believe that he used this thing to play Minecraft back in the day. Mind you, all these machines are running Windows 7. But no, this thing is terrible, alright? Of course, it being as old as it is, like you can see that when I took it apart, yeah, the hinged little covers came off. So you can imagine that's going to be kind of annoying. But it doesn't really matter. It's kind of chunky, so it's not like a netbook. It's a 15-inch laptop, surprisingly, but it's way smaller than most 15-inch laptops I know of, because it's 16 by 10. The battery, of course, doesn't work. I'll show you the specs rather than just taking it apart, because I don't want to take the thing apart, because I've already done it twice, and it's annoying as hell on this. Unlike the Dell over there, it's kind of an in-between period between modern laptops and laptops from 20 years ago. Because laptops from 20 years ago was a pain in the ass to take apart, whereas modern laptops, unless they're using glue, are pretty damn easy. It at least came with a charger. Mind you, it doesn't work very well. And don't know if it's the charger or if it's the charging port. I've tried cleaning it with BW100. I don't know why more people don't use this shit. I only know one other channel that uses this. They all tend to use deoxit or whatever, which is fine, but this shit works in a pinch. Really good. But it helped a little, but thing is, you could, let's see, you'll see a little orange light on there. I'll plug it in. You see it right there, it blinks. But like if I just, yeah, you saw that? If I hold it a certain way, it doesn't even work. So as long as you don't move the cable, basically, it kind of works. Of course, unlike some channels, I already knew what to do. Put Linux on it. Because, I mean, other than a few retro laptops and computers I have, that are running like Windows 9X or whatever, or would be if they worked. I haven't had, I mean, the last computer I had running Windows was my ThinkPad X1 Yoga Gen 2, which is I use for art and doing art and stuff. I just got sick and tired of Windows. I mean, I used Windows and I used Linux for a while during high school and college, and then I went back to Windows for gaming and stuff, but now that the Steam Deck exists and Proton exists, shit, I just use Linux. Problem is, though, you know how a lot of machines back then took forever to boot? Well, this thing takes it to a whole nother level, and I'm not quite sure if it's because it's old and it's starting to wear out, if the hard drive's going bad, or if it just took this damn long. But you can see it's got a Celeron, so that ain't good. A Celeron processor, 900. Yeah, that's not a typo. That's actually what it's called. A 900, not a B900, not an N900. Intel GMA 4500M. I'm guessing that's the graphics. Yeah, quote-unquote HD LCD. Look at the RAM. Yeah, 2 gigabytes of well, at least it's DDR3, and it comes with a 250 HDD. I tried upgrading it to 4 gigs, and it didn't like it. So, I'm not sure if it's the RAM I used was bad, but it was also pretty similarly speed. I think it was maybe a little bit slower, but this thing, you would think slower would be better. I think I don't remember what the fastest processor you can stick in this motherboard is. Here's the problem, though. See, if I try to turn it on, once it tries to do an Ubuntu, sometimes it starts to boot, and sometimes it just goes onto a black screen and does nothing. Nothing at all. So you can imagine that's pretty problematic. The screen's so bad that from where I'm standing at, the screen is gray. I mean, from there, it's a bit darker on the camera. I think this is from 2010 or 11. Most laptops still use TN panels, basically. I don't really think IPS displays are quite there. I mean, they had a few, like, you know, like some MacBooks and stuff had it, but it was not that commonplace. So, but you can see, you might think it's not booting right now, and that's the thing. Sometimes it goes a little faster, but I mean, really, most of the time, I just have to restart it. So, I'll sit here and wait and tell you if it actually boots or not. If not, I'll just restart it. Still not booting. Well, so yeah, this thing's unreliable. You can see it's already missing one of the keys, and that's because I tried to clean the keyboard. It had soda and crap inside of it. Still works. And you can see it's kind of bulging right here. It's not from the battery, because it's, you know, it's got one of those slide-out batteries. No, it's because there's, like, the way it's designed, the Wi-Fi antenna and crap, that the cables go through here, and if you don't get it quite right, yeah, it kind of does that. And since it's a laptop, I don't give a shit about, basically. It's fine, is what I say. Let's try it again. Maybe it'll actually work this time. It really does take a while, though. Oh, yeah, by the way, I should have mentioned, none of the USB ports on this thing work. Apparently, there's a, like, overcurrent, I think it's overcurrent protection. I've already tried cleaning the USB ports, you know, with that BW100 and with, like, electrostatic brushes and everything else, and yeah, I'm not quite sure. I looked at the board, and none of the USB ports had, like, broken solder pads or anything. So I'm not really quite sure what's going on, because normally it would be debris that would cause that, but there's nothing in there. It's perfectly clean now. So I'm just assuming they're broke, like the controller's messed up or something on there. Funny story, actually I never even get Ubuntu on this thing. I had to go back to the last version of Ubuntu that had a CD version, like not for DVD, but for a CD, which I think was like in like 18.04 or something like that. So I had to upgrade multiple versions just to get to where it is now. And as you can see, it's still not booting. Oh my god. It still doesn't want to... usually what I would do is, like, I mean, I've benchmarked quite a few of my machines I have, which I have on my Google Drive. I've probably shared it on social media and stuff. I know I have. To make it not seem as long to boot up on this thing, I would just have all the other machines running. And usually by the time after running a few machines, it would eventually pop up. I mean, I know for a fact it does eventually boot, but sometimes it takes like 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. I actually have no idea. It was like this when it had Windows, mind you. Well, actually, I guess it was a little bit faster because it had that fast boot crap. That's how bad this thing is. Like I said, it's basically like a netbook, except it's bigger. In fact, this is so slow, I'm willing to do it on a timer. Let's see how long it actually takes. So here's my phone right here. So let's just time it. It's still going, by the way. Yes, that's actually how long it's been taking so far. When will the pain and suffering end? Oh my god. At this point, I have to imagine the drive's dying. But it's a Western Digital. And in my experience, any Western Digital made in basically the past 20 years, probably even longer than that, tend to last a long time. Even ones in laptops and stuff. But of course, no hard drive is free of escaping the realm of age. Even the best drive in the world will eventually fail. Yeah, I mean, that's very well possible what could be going on, but it's a single-core CPU for crying out loud. I mean, that's pretty bad. I mean, for something from 2011, not going good. Here's the timer again, in case you're wondering. I might have to redo it, but I'm not. But I swear it's taken this long before. And the thing is once it boots up, it's perfectly fine. So it's just like it takes forever to get into the OS. Like Linux has no idea what to do with this thing. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna try again. Give it one more try. One more try. Or else I might plug it into my main PC and check the PC health on it, or the disk drive health on it. Okay, it's been like 4 minutes already. So I'm just going to go plug it into my main PC, and I'll just check the drive health. Because if it's failing, then that'll at least make a little bit of sense. But if it's not, I have no explanation then. Alright, you actually get to see it being taken apart a little bit. It is a laptop from mid-2000s, though, or early 2010s, so it's not going to be like a full darn teardown just to get the damn hard drive. It's not an Apple, or it's not a modern HP or anything like that. So now we get to see my main PC. So we'll get to see just how terrible this drive probably is and how terrible the health probably is. Well, it mounted in my computer. It says it's fine. That's weird. But yeah, it says it's perfectly good health. I kind of don't believe that. I'm not going to lie. I wonder what Crystal Disk info on Windows would actually say. If we refresh the devices. No, it still says it's in good health. So it is not the hard drive necessarily, and I know it's not the configuration. It is to me even on a fresh install. I'm not quite sure why it takes freaking 20 minutes, but it does. I could always try to put another hard drive in that, but if it says it's got good health on here, like, the way I'd be able to tell is if I put a hard drive I know is not doing well, and it somehow reports good, then I know that's full of shit. So, we'll see. Alright, I have two drives that I've labeled as dying that I know for a fact are dying. That's a Shiba drive and a Hitachi drive, both from old laptops. If these show up as good, we know this program might be a little full of shit, but I don't think it is. It has no reason to lie. You know, it's a Linux program for damn crying out loud. It's open source. I mean, I'm sure somebody could clearly say, oh, that's not right. So it does work. So, yeah, the reallocated, well, this one doesn't have that. Current pending sector and the reallocated sector. Yeah, that's usually the ones that's the kind of the bad error that you don't want to have. Yeah, I guess this drive is somehow okay then, at least according to GZDoom, which if it says it's good, it's probably fine then. So we can at least eliminate that. And it's not like it's a ridiculously slow drive either. What speed is it on here? It's a 5400 RPM. And like the device hours isn't really that bad. It's 5,581 and the power on count's high, but that's totally fine for a laptop. So I'm inclined to believe it's not the hard drive at all. And I know it gets hung up when it tries to deal with a USB overcurrent protection. That could very well be it. And like I said, I have no idea why that's even happening. Like I said, I've tried cleaning it and getting the debris out and everything. There's just something wrong. I mean, I think one of the USB ports is actually straight up broken. Like, as in, like, the middle connector is just gone. So that could technically be it. In which case, all I have to do is just remove it. Put another USB connector on there. Is it really worth trying to fix on this piece of crap, though? No. If it eventually boots up, it eventually boots up. So that's what I say. You know what? I might actually try removing the broken pins inside that one USB port. Just to see if maybe that'll fix the issue. Because it's a very good possibility. Because let me show you what I mean. Look, the port on the left is normal, as you can see. Look at the one on the right, though. Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but like I said, I got it like this. So it's possible that it's getting shorted. And I guess Linux doesn't like that. And doesn't want to boot. Alright, here's some tech gore, I guess. We're gonna have some flush cutters here. I use for soldering and stuff. I've tried bending it back and forth, hoping it'll just break right off. And I was having none of that. But I don't know if this thing will actually be able to get in there. I'll try. But you can see I've gotten the pins out of there. So there should be nothing shorting itself anymore. So we'll see if that fixes it or not. Let's try this again. Hopefully it doesn't take 20 million years. Of course, I should say the clock's battery is screwed, and I think it's one of those stupid... It's not like just one you can just pop in and pop out. You have to disconnect it. So I guess it's rechargeable or something. Oh, well, it did a little bit more. Oh. The power... Yeah, that's what I mean. My knee actually nudged the cable, and that made it go out. So, yeah. Still going, like 20 minutes later. I should say, you can see that hard drive light is being pegged. There we go, oh my god. Hell yeah. That was about 20 minutes. So I guess setting that option was a little bit faster. We're going to time it, how long it takes to actually get into Ubuntu. I'm just going to let it sit here. So what, it's been about 30 seconds? Should have probably started the timer. But just add a minute to whatever this takes. Plus the time it took to actually get to here. So about 20 minutes. So it should be like 20 minutes. 21 minutes and 26 seconds basically. Because this is 9:54 p.m. right now and I started at like 9:36, so it was about 18 minutes or so. There we go. There's old light DM. So let's just say that took about 21 minutes. So let's see. Running XFCE, of course. What else would I use, especially for a machine this terrible? There are lighter DMs than that. Like you could use like i3 or something, but I don't feel like doing that. So about like 30 seconds. Not too shabby, but it took 20 minutes to get to this point. But now that we're here, I can actually do what I was trying to do to begin with, which is to show this piece of crap off. It's got KDE Connect and stuff, hard info. Oh yeah, that's a good set right there. Hard Info 2, because I've actually filed a bug report for this. This is the successor to Hard Info. I don't know why people don't use this. Let's just generate a report real quick. Well, actually, we could just do a synchronize. But I already have benchmarks, like I said, on Google Drive that if you want to compare, because it gets benchmarks from other people. Like, it pulls it in. Like, basically, just expect this memory right here. Expect the swap to go up and the memory to be all the way at the top, because basically what happens all the time. The CPU is already being maxed out, which, I mean, yeah, it's a CPU benchmark, but on other machines, it's not quite that bad. This thing's just being pegged no matter what, which I guess makes sense. Also, excuse the stains, like I said. This thing is so terrible, I just don't give a shit. It is junky. I don't know what's on the screen, and I don't care. Oh, yay, GPU drawing. But you can see it's running. So it's an issue with this Hard Info 2 right now, is that when you do the synchronize, it doesn't seem to want to actually count the score. But you can see, Intel Celeron 900, one physical processor, one core, one thread. Yeah, 2 gigs of RAM. I've tried putting 4 in here. Apparently 4 is the max for this chipset. All right, we're just gonna go straight to the benchmarks. So yeah, you can see like, oh, you got some nice, good stuff like Ryzen's and stuff like that. Yeah, you can just keep going down. It's not much better than a Raspberry Pi 3. It scores 2 points ahead. Ooh, it is easily the worst scoring machine I have by far. Like the Raspberry Pi 5 is straight up faster than this, which I mean I guess makes sense because it's way newer. But the Raspberry Pi is not even supposed to be like all that powerful. But yet it just destroys this. Like it's still the Pi 5 is like pretty damn low on multi-thread. Well, you can imagine with having no threads except one, it's at the bottom. Yeah, it is pretty screwed. And obviously multi-core, yeah, no. All the way to the bottom again. It's only a little bit better than some Atoms. And I don't even know when some of these were made. So you could basically, like, this thing may as well just say it's got an Atom. Like, that is really what it should say. Like, it says Celeron, but, I mean, this is at a point when Celerons were basically just Atoms with slightly beefier. Like, nowadays, nowadays, even the Atom's pretty decent. You remember back then, the Pentium was the best thing ever before they had any of the dual, the Core or anything like that. Or the Intel i-series or anything like that. The Pentium was the best, and Celeron was just slightly worse. But now, Celeron, well, they've gotten rid of the name Celeron. CPU zlib. It's only a little bit faster than a Pentium 4. And the Pentium 4 is a piece of shit, as you might imagine. But it does beat out some RISC-V stuff. But I mean, to be fair, RISC-V is a new architecture, so of course it's got some kinks to iron out. Completely destroyed by everything else. It somehow beats an i3. CPU Fibonacci. At the very bottom. There's a Celeron in 3060. Google Terra. I'm guessing that's a Chromebook of some kind. 2 gigs of RAM. That's 184, and this has got 38. 38. Yep. I don't remember what the Raspberry Pi scores on this. I think the Pi actually does all right, but I have the Pi benched on some of these. In Queens, CPU in Queens. What the hell is M logic? Single board computer. I mean, how much RAM did that thing have? I don't think so. I don't think it had 197 gigs. Yeah, definitely not. Or, well, no, 2 terabytes of RAM. I don't think so. But as you can see, at the damn bottom, FPU, FFT. It's slightly better than a Rock Pi. Ooh, I mean, we're talking about something that came out a bunch, like, way later and is a single board computer, which is totally understandable. Like, it only barely beats out a Pentium 4. It's a server? A Fujitsu server? What it says on here? Ray tracing. Not GPU tracing. Not the one you're thinking of. But as you can see, it only scores a little bit better. Just a little bit better than an Atom. Internal network speed, well, it might actually do okay on that. Because I don't think that has anything to do with the CPU. But it's still terrible. God awful at that. Okay, Sysbench CPU, single thread. You know, since it's only got 1 thread and 1 core, so it's going to do all right at that, I guess. Somehow it does better than a Ryzen 5 3500H. 3550H, yeah. Atom N2600, I know about that. I think that is a Samsung laptop. 2K, so yeah, it does a little bit better on that, but you can imagine everything else is going to get its ass wiped. Multi-thread, at the bottom. A Pentium M, it's slightly faster than a Pentium M, which is notoriously one of the worst damn processors ever made. Or was it the Pentium? No, the Pentium M kind of sucks, yeah. One core, 1 thread, just like this. But that one's got 3 gigs of RAM. Ooh, from a Dell Latitude D410. Sysbench memory. Damn near the bottom. Only barely beat out some Core 2 duos, but it doesn't even really beat that many. Just some of the really crappy ones. You know, Celeron M410. And multi-thread, obviously, it fucking sucks it. Let's see if I actually have results on here. Oh, no, look. You noticed it ran, but there's no results. So you saw it ran, but from what I remember, this usually scores about, like, 80. Yeah, 80 on GPU drawing. I think the test is broken, because you can see, usually this thing would be fully populated, but there's barely got anything on here. And OpenGL drawing, it doesn't even attempt to run on here, as far as I know. Let's see if this scores anything. GPU drawing. This is also just video evidence, in case they need to ask on GitHub. You know, the issue. See what the thing scores at. If it scores something ridiculously high, I'm gonna be laughing my ass. Nope. Yeah, see it finished, but it's just not even there. So, yeah. But as you can see, not a very good machine. Of course, you probably can't really compare it to anything else, but I mean, you could see some CPUs and stuff in here, but the fact that, like, it's barely faster than some Atom, or some Core 2 Duos, or Pentium 4, even, is pretty worrying. So yeah, I have some other games in here, like Quake and stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised how terrible this fucking thing can run. Oh, a runtime error. Oh, that's great. Assume it should take way, way longer on this thing, but let's see. It's kind of like modern Minecraft, basically, in terms of how heavy it is. I should add, like, on my phone, this Galaxy S23, it takes like 10 seconds, maybe. My ThinkPad, they use 5th gen i5 or whatever. Yeah, that does it about 20 seconds or so. Maybe a little bit less. Haven't tried it on my main rig. It's probably going to be about the same. But as you can see, we're already almost at a minute. I'm surprised it's even gotten this far. I imagine it would. And we're just going to leave it at whatever settings it has, you know? So it doesn't even run at full screen. Oh my god. Oh my, look. The swap in the memory, it's probably about to just crash completely. Oh no, it's still running. But that's what I was talking about. It runs out of memory so fast, it goes to swap space, and obviously not it being a hard drive and not an SSD, its swap space is pretty slow. Swap space isn't meant to be fast necessarily. It's meant to just work. But ooh, everything's at max. Yeah. Okay, it says it's done. Yep, that took right at 2 minutes, but it's still not done loading yet. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna count it until it's actually in the game. It's not even even loaded in all the chunks. It's still going. Can I even move? Oh god, look how delayed that is. Oh my god, yeah, that's pretty bad. I can't believe he was running Minecraft on this thing. I mean, granted, it was 2013 probably, so it was a little bit later, but I mean, it's freaking Java, so even back then it didn't run very well. So when does Minecraft ever ran well? Yeah, it's fucking Java. I don't know, there's not many Java programs that run well. But yeah, we're in the game, so... Oh god, hitting the escape key. Look how long it took to just get to the menu. It's... Oof. Has it even got sound? I imagine it's probably so slow that it can't even load the sound properly. Yeah, fog enable doesn't really seem to do anything. Like you see, it can't render out far enough to even use the fog. That's terrible. But of course it could just because it's in a slightly older version, but I don't think it would make that big of a difference, honestly. Not on this piece of crap. Oh god, it took like 2 seconds just to load the... Okay, it says we're getting 22. That's from standing still, of course. But you saw how bad it was in terms of, like, input delay. Yep, that was a bit of a... It basically kind of fucked up right there. Oh, God. And, because of the... You could tell with that. It is, like, I am pushing down right now, and nothing's happening. So, as you can see, it's borderline unplayable. Like, I'm up... I mean, there's infinite worlds in this thing, but yet I'm, like, up against a wall. An invisible wall. Unloaded chunk. I mean, unless they only added infinite worlds in the newest version, which I don't think that's the case. I think Minetest has always had infinite worlds. You can see how terrible this is. So, it can't run Minetest. It can barely run Classicube, which is significantly lower on CPU usage and RAM usage. Yeah, we're gonna shut this down. Look how long it takes just to freaking shut down. Yup. It is that slow. I found what the most powerful CPU you can stick in this thing is, and unfortunately I don't think it's on hard info too, but I could probably just compare it on other benchmarks. And I mean, the thing is like, I think that's a dual core, so it would be a little bit better, but I think it still would only be limited to 4 gigs of RAM, which it would be a pretty big improvement. But like I said, if this thing were some like nice Dell or something, then sure. But this is a piece of crap Acer. Acer's already garbage. And this thing's old. And kind of from their worst period, I'd say. Wow, I think it might be frozen. Well, not frozen enough to where I can't use my mouse cursor, of course. But frozen enough to where it's not wanting to work. Like, it just takes... Like, because normally, you can click on this, your system monitor right here, and it'll... Okay, there we go. Well, as you can see, it does run on OpenGL. There you go. In case that test set wanted to say it doesn't run on OpenGL. Yeah, it's OpenGL 2.1. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god. Holy shit. it opened too many windows. I don't want to turn the machine off, turn it back on, because as you remember, it takes 20 minutes to get into it. There we go. Now the memory usage is back at, well, it's still pretty terrible. Let's say at like 30% usage. Okay, what about Classicube then? I mean, surely that should work. All right, I guess, right? If it can actually get into the down, if it can't even get into Thunar. Come on now. Obviously, don't want to click it too many times because it'll do exactly what it did before, where it just opened up a whole bunch of them. Garbage trackpad. Well, I mean, it's all right. It's about what you'd expect from back then. Yeah, look how long it's taken just to get into Thunar. All right, Classicube. Classicube tends to run pretty good on just about everything, including this piece of garbage. I think it struggled on my Ouya. That's just because it's probably just a little too new for this, or for that machine. But of course, it is taking a little bit of time to open it up. Didn't say it opens up quickly. But I mean, once you're in the game, it runs at like 20 FPS, 20 FPS-ish, you know? And it's only dealing with it doesn't have an infinite world in Classicube, so... Oh, I just noticed it's pegging that CPU. So it's definitely trying to open up Classicube. There we go. And open it up twice. Clear out the first one. Put it in full screen, of course. Intel graphics are known to have issues with OpenGL. Yeah. Well, the OpenGL build this, to say. I think it only has like one wimpy little speaker. Yeah, I actually noticed that there's like a perforation, right? There's speakers right here, but there's a perforation, like a whole spot you can put another one, including a connector on the motherboard. So I guess you could have had two speakers. But there's no hole here, so, you know, you'd have to, I guess you'd have to poke them out or something. Scrape them away. So you can imagine, like, just how bad or cheap this thing was supposed to be. Just given the fact that they couldn't even afford, like, a $2 speaker, you know, $5 or something, you know. They were really, really just trying to cut corners on this thing. You can see it runs better than it did on good old Minetest. That makes total sense, though, because this is running in, like, pure C. I think it's completely C programming. So that already means it's going to run a little bit better, because I think Minetest has got a little bit of C++ in it. What about we put it in flat? Oh, there we go. It runs a little bit faster in flat. And 47. Ooh, 47 FPS. Wow. How do I dig down? How far can I dig down here? Well, at least the buttons work. So it's a little bit different than flat on like regular Minecraft, where it's only about by default only like 3 layers or 4 layers down. Let's see if the FPS ever goes down from where I'm looking at it like this. Oh yeah, it's going down to 37. Okay, so now it's starting to, yeah. For some reason, I don't know if you look like right here, or no, if I jump, it's only like 80 blocks or 64 blocks high. I don't know. It ran that all right, I guess. Well, all right, like it ran it. Okay, what about OpenArena? You gotta run it in full screen. Oh god, it's super sensitive on here. So this is running in like 640 by 480. I think it couldn't even run that, like anything above like 10 FPS. This is a game from, OpenArena says from 2005 to 2000, so like, but it's Quake 3, which is from what, like 98 or 99? The max resolution of the monitor, which I think is 960. Is that, wow. Okay, so 960 by 600. Let's see if that will actually work. Oh god, oh, it is so much slower in the menus. Oh no. Let's see if it even runs it properly. Oh! But as you can see, I mean, it's running at like 15 FPS, it looks like. If even that. Yeah, there we go. I mean, I'm not even good at Quake or anything. But, you saw, like, I couldn't even really do anything, and it just immediately lagged out. Like, this is Quake. Like, granted, I could lower some of the settings, but, like, you would think it'd be able to run at any setting. It's Quake 3, for crying out loud. It should not have any issues. Oh, god, he's got a rocket launcher. Jesus. Oh, god. This what is it? What was it? 960 by 600? Now, I haven't installed Steam on here. I'm kind of afraid to. Only because I don't think anything would actually work. Like, this thing may as well be running a 32-bit operating system. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, that's one of the good ones. If it's anything like Quake 3, I think it's one of the best weapons in the game. But yeah, anyways, you get the picture. Oh god, the menu is so laggy. So there's that. Wow. It can barely run Quake 3. Don't even try to use Firefox on this thing. I mean, I'll just show you. It can't even really run on YouTube. No shit. It's only got 2 gigs of RAM. No crap. Firefox nowadays is really heavy, just like Chrome. So it's a little bit better if it loads YouTube. Oh, well, it is trying. Oh, I know. Let's do some Action Retro. See if we can even load any of this crap.
Check out.
No uBlock Origin installed on here. Let her get all the ads.
Choose Chrome to save time with autofill.
Nope, we don't want Chrome.
Hilarity, it's everyone's favorite.
Oh my god. What is this even running at?
And today, after a year and a half,
480p. It's absolutely freaking slow. Look how many frames it's dropping.
I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. If you
Oh, why is it trying to run at 720p? No! Oh, go back to 480p. Let's mute him a little bit. Sorry, Sean. But obviously it's kind of hard to talk over another person. See how many frames is it going to drop now. Oh, it's still absolutely dropping. Okay, what about, 360p? It's still dropping frames. Though it is a little bit better. But the moment I move my mouse cursor, it just starts to slow down. Surely 240p should be fine on this thing. And remember, this thing came out when YouTube was already starting to... It was already decently big. I can very much imagine that running it anything over 360p even back then would have been a struggle on this thing. Well, apparently it's still dropping frames, but nowhere near as many. You can see it's starting to run pretty okay now. On such a low-res screen to begin with. You can't even... Like, on the camera it looks okay, but to my eyes, it looks like I'm looking at it's just a JPEG. It's just a giant JPEG. You can't even see the ports. Like, it's terrible. What about... we may as well go all the way. 144p. Surely there should be no drop stats here. It's still dropping frames. I mean, granted, it's pretty hard to see with the naked eye. Like, at this point, it's about average. But, I mean, at this point, I think you can even see it on the camera how bad it is. Like, you can't even tell. Like, there's no detail in that computer. It's like looking at it in Half-Life 1 or something, you know? There's just visible artifacting ever. Like, 144p on a 15-inch display is, look terrible. No crap. But, I mean, even this, you can see how long it's taking just to go at a full screen. It's pretty bad. Can I do Wikipedia? Let's see if I can load Wikipedia. Wikipedia's gotten a lot heavier as of late. I remember when they used to say, oh, we're trying to make it load in third world countries. Yeah, it doesn't work like that no more, guys. I guess because they think, because you can use a freaking mobile phone or something. It's like, yeah, maybe. Well, at least I can use the side to scroll. That's cool, I guess. It's one of those ones where it actually has it physically on the thing telling you that. Like, there's physical little bumps. So it's doing okay, Yeah, it's fine for Wikipedia. And I'm sure it can load FrogFind just fine. Services crashed. Well, that's not my fault. Don't even attempt to use social media on this thing. It's not going to work very well. I'm not even going to try. I mean, I put Dillo on here as well. Just because Firefox takes that damn long to load. Can it run Doom, though? Yeah. Definitely, I'm sure. Of course, I have not played Doom in a long time, so I don't even remember the controls. It can't be... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, no, it's loading now. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. What's going on? It's like, why is it green up to there? Oh, no, it's turned into Shrek. Well, I mean, does it still run, though? Well, it's, the music's going, and I think the game is playing, but... Oh, the green's turned into purple. Oh, my God. I mean, obviously, the original Doom would probably run a little bit faster, but look at... This is GZDoom! It should not be this bad. GZDoom runs on just about anything. Oh, my God. I don't... It's like running the original Doom on a freaking 8088 or something, I mean, or maybe not that slow, but... Because I don't think 8088 would even be able to launch Doom at all. Wow. Eventually we might see the Doom guy's hand. At least it's not all green. Oh, what the hell? Oh, it's got aiming? What? Oh, it's got mouse looking. What the fuck? I don't want that. Yeah, look at how slow the menus are. That's max volume right there. Technical difficulties. It's lagged the whole computer. Doom. Can it run on this machine? Well, GZDoom. Barely. Yeah, I don't know if GZDoom is actually that hard on machines, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure GZDoom can run on potatoes, but I think this is below a potato. It's just an onion. What's worse than a potato? Is an onion worse than a potato? So this thing is, yeah, I can't even get out of the... Okay, if I do Control Alt F4, it works, but that switches the mode altogether. Okay, there we go. Anyways, I think you've seen enough of this thing, just to see how terrible it is. Don't even try to use it for anything else, like productivity or anything. I use this thing just for if I want to torment myself, which I don't like doing. But I'm more like, less to torment myself and more just to laugh. This thing is that bad. I mean, I feel bad for the guy who had to use this. I feel bad for anybody who had this model, this 533 Acer Aspire 5334 2598. I mean, it's a piece of shit. It would have been terrible for the time. It runs worse than my old Dell netbook that I used to have, the Dell Inspiron Mini, the little Nickelodeon version. I mean, it didn't run great, but I mean, it ran better than this piece of crap did. That was the crappy little Atom. I wish I would have kept that damn thing, honestly. I would love it. But I mean, the Inspiron Mini you can get for cheap, but the Nickelodeon one you definitely can. I tried to put Puppy Linux on it, and it didn't like it. The hardware, it just didn't like it for some reason. It didn't want to boot up, so yeah. It didn't even want to boot into the installer, so... I tried a lot of things, and yeah, it was ultimately Ubuntu. Good old, reliable Ubuntu. Reliable. It's alright. But that was the only thing that wanted to work. I mean, I'm sure Arch could have probably worked, but I do not have the patience to deal with Arch Linux on this piece of garbage. So, yeah. So, that's what that thing deserves. You know, good old slap. I mean, this is basically e-waste. Like, I wouldn't even say a netbook is e-waste, because at least a netbook, even if it's slow, has the benefit of it's portable. You know, you could use it in your lap, put Linux on it, do some programming on it. This thing's too big to do that, but also awful. Like it's, I mean, I guess if you had no computer ever, it would technically work, but you know it's bad when you're stretching it to that. Like not even oh well, it could be faster. Or, oh, you know, if it was a spare computer, it'd be, no, we're talking about like you had no computer whatsoever and you gave it to some kid like in Africa, that it might be good. No, it still wouldn't be that good, I'm sure. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this. I might do more videos on some of the other machines I have. Hopefully enough people see this. Maybe they could send me something, and I doubt it. But, you know. Or tell me of something even worse than this. I'm sure there is. But like I said, it's just kind of late 2000s, early 2010s era. It isn't quite nostalgic for people yet. I'm starting to get there, I'm sure, by some people. Not quite, but it's not old enough to be cool and retro, and not new enough to be useful. But like I said, there are some stuff from early 2011 or so, or 2010, that actually is still useful, because they're decently spec'd. Like the HPC 400 I have here right here. Though it is missing straight up certain features in the CPU itself. Like just certain instruction sets where you can't even do certain things. Though I haven't really come across it too. It's more of a problem in Windows than it is on Linux, so... I just wanted to do this because this is a piece of crap laptop, and I just wanted to put YouTube seems to love piece of crap laptop, piece of crap computers, and this is definitely one of those. So yeah. So bye.